Lucy Edwards, Director of Client Success at VHT Studios and now Matterport. And today I'm at Brown Harris Stevens, and my guest is Bess Freedman, and you are Chief Executive Officer of this wonderful, the oldest firm, and it's a luxury firm as well. So nice to be here.
Thanks so much, Lucy. It's so nice to sit down with you. Appreciate that. And I'll just mention that Brown Harris Stevens is celebrating next year our 150-year anniversary. So we are the largest privately held firm on the East Coast with 55 offices, nearly 3,000 agents. We're in Connecticut, New Jersey, Florida, and New York. And we have the heart of a mom and pop shop, but we are a big company now, and it's a great place to be a part of.
And you have amazing agents. We've been working with you for about 15 years now, and we just really appreciate the partnership, and we also appreciate all your agents.
Oh,
They're
thanks.
fun to work with.
They're fun. You know, I was just talking to an agent this morning. Brown Harris Stevens is a place where, you know, the agents are very experienced. They have a lot of knowledge. They've been here a long time. We have intergenerational. We have a lot of like father-daughter, father-son, mother-daughter. This is like a graduate school for real estate. This is a place where people come who are serious about what they do as a profession and adhere to certain standards and integrity. And that's what is represented at Brown Harris Stevens. And that's why so many people love working with our agents. They're real pros.
And you just mentioned integrity. And I think that's what's so important. Also, you have your standards, and the company demands from agents to be professional, knowledgeable. The education has to be on the top level. But it's not like you are just throwing them into it. You give them support, and you provide them with marketing tools and directions, and your constant education and different programs that you are offering to your agents to make it easy for them to be successful.
Yeah, that's true. But if you think about real estate agents, they're 1099s, right? They're independent contractors. So we give them all the support and help them, and we have all these tools and marketing and all that stuff. But it really depends on the agent in the sense that they have to see themselves as the CEO of their own company.
CEO of your own business.
And have to put in the time and the work and do all the things that you can't just magically expect to have business. You really have to work towards it. And agents that are successful do that. They show up. They partake in all the marketing and all the technology. They come into the office, and that, I think, helps them to succeed.
Well, I would like to kind of flow into the future agents, since we're talking about the agents today and what is it expected from them. I love the CEO of your own business and CEO of your own practice. You can say, what about the future agent? How do you think everything is going to change in another few months even?
You know, the future agent is very much what you see today. The thing that will be different is that their technology will be faster. So they'll be able to empower the relationships they have quickly. So they'll be able to get information faster and share it with their clients. I think that will be the only real difference, because remember, real estate agents, it's an information and service business, right? And they are in the relationship business, and they're building trust every day, all day with their buyers and their sellers. And so that's never going to change. Technology is not going to take the place of what agents do, particularly in nuanced markets like New York City, where the majority of our housing stock, they're cooperatives. And it requires expertise. So the future agent is very much like this agent, but will have probably better technology. That's really the only difference I see. It may be better fashion, who knows?
Well, we can always deal with that. We can always update our wardrobes every 6 months if we have to.
Yes, right? No, I'm just teasing about the fashion. But I do think it's technology, because technology empowers all of your relationships. You're able to communicate with people quicker. But we still have clients that want to talk to you, that want to see you, that want to hear from you, that are not so mired in all the tech. Remember, we're in a high-touch business, and people are making the biggest purchases of their lives. It's where they're going to raise their kids. It's where when they first get married, where they're going to live. It's maybe if you're a writer, it's where you're going to write. It's sacred space. And so they're relying on the experts to tell them, guide them, inform them, lead them, and help them to make really informed decisions, because it's probably the biggest expense of your life. And it's for consumption. It's not just an investment, it's where you live. And so real estate, I call it holy and sacred. And what we do is we guide people through that. And people, I think, not to get on a rant about reality TV, but I think it really does take away from the quality of what we do as professionals. It makes it look cheap and easy, and we just are vying for money. And I don't think at all that's what real estate agents do when they're at their best. I think what they do is focus, work hard, and talk to their clients with discretion.
And I do believe that regardless of all the technology and everything that agent has to do on a daily basis, it is people's business. It is people's profession. You have to love people. You have to understand, enjoy, and read through and adjust to every personality. Every seller is different. Every seller has their own history,
right.
Their own issues, problems, divorce, getting married, whatever. They're expecting a baby and they need to move fast and there is no inventory. You know, all that stress, and the agent has to make it smooth and pleasant. So that is a talent.
Well, the talent is really comes to emotional intelligence, isn't it? I mean, it's really being able to navigate maybe somebody who works on Wall Street and just wants the numbers and wants analysis, or maybe it's someone who's going through a tough time. They just lost a parent and they need you to help them to figure out how to empty out the apartment and get it set up for showings. You know, navigating all of those tricky scenarios with people. That's why I say it's a relationship business. That's where the expertise of an agent comes in. And if they have high emotional intelligence, they're prepared, they're going to do well in this business. I see it at Brown Harris Stevens, even with newer agents, when they know the inventory and and they're able to navigate people, they succeed.
And what is your opinion on agent today, after the pandemic is over, after everything is kind of like settling down right now. There is no craziness around us. How do you approach your agents to come back to the office, to be productive, to be with people?
It's a good question, Lucy. And it gets talked about so often because during the pandemic, as we know, we were all at home. We were all stuck at home. And then when we could come in, we did. And we absolutely required our employees to come in. And then they became full-time because you need to be in person. Agents, you can't demand that they come in, right? But we're encouraging that more and more, and having meetings, because I think you can't build culture via Zoom. You can't, there's something about being together with people, sharing food, I think is a big thing. Talking, looking in somebody's eyes and seeing, how are you doing? You doing okay? What's going on? That's what we do. So we've encouraged agents to come into the office, talk about what you're doing, what you're selling, what you're seeing. It goes really far. And so I think in our business, it's important to do that. I know some businesses, maybe you don't need to come in the office, but I think for what we do, which is high touch and relationship driven, I think coming into the office is paramount to your success. So I encourage people to come in. Not always, but when you can, because when you're also dressed like a professional, think about it in your own life. On the weekends, when you're in your workout clothes or your pajamas, you're not the same as when you're dressed as a professional. You kind of take on a different mindset. And I think that's for agents too. So I just encourage it. I can't force them, but I love seeing agents in the office. It makes me happy to see people. How are you? How are your kids? What's going on? And, we connect with each other. That's how we build together, right?
And also, you stop by the coffee machine and you start talking about what happened yesterday. You might be frustrated with your client, and then you kind of like spilling it out, and someone is listening to you and sharing their experiences, and then suddenly you all feel great, both of you.
Well, also think about this. I mean, agents, when they're in the office together talking, they say, well, my open house, I had this or I had that. And it's helpful. You're learning. All that information helps you because that information makes you smarter. Then you can talk to your buyers and sellers. And I think coming together and doing that is meaningful in what we do as real estate professionals.
Or maybe they discussed some new marketing tools and they're talking about, what, I did something different for this particular listing, and you know what? It was great success.
Or they may be complaining together, because that's what a lot of us, sometimes when you get together too, you like to, because we are entering what I call a lumpy real estate market, which means it's a little bit more challenging
Let's talk about that lumpy real estate market.
I like lumpy because it shows, the lumps that were. And last year, as you know, 2021 was epic. I mean, it was the best real estate market for us in our history and for most real estate firms. And this year is a little different. I mean, we're ending the year like light, not as a strong market. And we're probably entering maybe a mild recession. We could. I don't know for sure. Nobody does. Mm-hmm. But it's a tougher environment. But you know what, Lucy? In these tough environments, that's when real estate professionals shine because, clients need them more than ever. In a market that everything is just up, 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 everybody feels like they can figure it out. But this market is when I think real estate agents really shine and their expertise is super needed in this sort of challenging economic environment.
And maybe we will lose a few agents here and there. And only the strongest and the toughest and the most devoted will stay around and be successful.
The cream rises to the top. That's what they say. Yeah, I mean, it is tougher because the business is lighter, transactions are less. But we're still doing a good amount of business. Not the end of the world. It's not post-Lehman where we had the mortgage crisis. Yeah. We're in a different environment. It's not where people are walking away from contracts because in that environment, we saw people like fleeing. There was a lot of fear. We don't have that today because we have more restrictions for underwriting and mortgages. And, the market is still fluid. There's still a lot of money in the economy because of all the money the Fed put in and because people made a lot of money during the pandemic. Mm-hmm. People got really rich. So I think we are okay, but lumpy. It's lumpy. So it's not going to be crazy, busy, 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 but it is going to be one of those sort of challenging markets, I think.
We'll make it.
We'll make it. We always make it. We made it after Lehman, after 9/11, after the pandemic for me was the most probably uncertain because nobody knew what was going on. We all looked out the window. I lived in New York City and I didn't leave the city during the pandemic. And I looked out the window and it was like there was nobody in the street. Nobody was outside. And the supermarkets, and it was like creepy and we didn't know what would happen to real estate and everybody's worried about their health. And so once we got that vaccine, it was like, boom.
Yes, exactly.
Boom. We took off like a rocket because uncertainty is not good for any market. And the pandemic, had everybody, frightened. And now we're in a much better place, right? What is history? It's the study of surprises, right? Mm-hmm. It's stuff we didn't know, but we're in a better place today. Now we understand how we would handle a pandemic. I hope we'd handle, in a better way because we know more now.
What about the robust marketing strategy? And we learned a lot during pandemic and so many new marketing tools. We got acquainted with Zoom. And as a matter of fact, in the very beginning, I'm zoomed out completely. But I was invited to do a presentation on how we can adjust to marketing strategy when you can't enter the house or, and all the limitations. And New York was closed all the way to like June 11th.
June, I think 22nd. We were closed for three months. We couldn't even show property. So that was a little bit daunting. But yeah, marketing is a big piece of what we do. And Matt Leone, who's our chief marketing officer, who is superstar in every sense of the word. The guy doesn't stop like trying to figure things out and create and build. And, it doesn't mean he's perfect. It means he never gives up and he works hard and he's made us better. And, our marketing campaign that was very successful, Mastery of the Craft. But he's constantly looking to innovate. It's like innovate or die. We got to keep coming up with stuff. He just launched a new CRM for the company. We have BHS One, which is this sort of united platform. He's got all these great things going on. And then social media with TikTok and Instagram. He's doing so many things. He's really a gift to the company. We're lucky to have him. And
we have a great relationship with Matt. I've known Matt for many years. He was one of the very, very first marketing strategist who implemented Metaport for every property over a certain amount priced at not even that high. And I think it was a great success. I know it was a great success. And he was covering everything. Like he wanted to make sure that Metaport is incorporated in every state, at every listing. and you had your own people who were doing Matterport, but you were so busy, and because you were so successful, because no one was using it back then. But Matt said, "Nah, it's going to bring us to another level," and he hired us as a backup. And we were busy.
He loves Matterport. I mean, he raves about it, the technology, what it gives, how advanced it is, the 3D tech, all those things. So we're really grateful. He said we've been using it for 9 years, Matterport. So that's excellent. Another good thing that we have in our tool belt, right?
Exactly. And we have digital twin now, and that is a great program that Matterport is offering. And we're talking to Matt about that. So that will be a great addition to your new strategy and your new marketing direction.
I love it. Thank you so much for that, Lucy.
Would like to talk about your relationship and partnership with the leading real estate companies of the world. It's such a great organization. So how do you incorporate it in your everyday life, and how agents leverage your partnership?
Yeah, we have been affiliates for so many years. I don't even know how many years, but it's ever since I've been, at least for the last 10 years, and luxury portfolio as well.
Yes.
And Kimberly Barkoff, who's our head of relo and referrals, is very involved. And, she helps us build relationships with all the people at Leading. And it was September, we went to Portugal.
Oh, yes, you did, right.
It was wonderful. And you get to meet not only domestically, but internationally, all your partners to send business to. They send business to us. And so the agents we had 20 agents go to that in Portugal. I think part of it was going to Portugal because it's such a little, have you been to Portugal? It's heaven. It's such a great place.
Only to Spain, but Portugal, we are planning to go to Portugal for a month.
You need to visit. It's beautiful, but we had a lot of agents go to the conference, spend a week there, meet our partners in different places from all over the world, from Mallorca to, you name it, Italy, everywhere, and then domestically as well, like Michael Saunders in Florida.
Oh, yes.
We love Michael. And so just get to know each other, build and grow. And so it's a big part of what we do because it helps us globally. And those relationships are key. As I said, we're in the relationship business. And sometimes if you need to refer something out or you have a question, we have all these relationships with people throughout the US and internationally.
And now with borders being opened, your Florida Brown Harris Stevens offices are probably benefiting as well.
Doing very well. Like we have offices in Miami and in Palm Beach, and both of those offices are thriving. Palm Beach is struggling because there's not a lot of supply. There's not enough for people to buy there. But yes, those markets are doing well. We're really happy with those. Yeah.
Let's talk about charity organizations and your commitment to the community, your relationship with the community.
So I have been on an organization, a nonprofit called The Bridge for, I think it's been over a year now. And The Bridge builds affordable housing for the homeless, for people who are on the street who suffer from mental illness and drug addiction. And not only do we build the homes, but we also provide services. And we've done 28 buildings to date. And we had our last board meeting actually here in this building upstairs. But it's great because we're helping people who are out on the streets. Many times that you see the people in the city that are sitting in subways or sitting on the street, I talk to a lot of those people and they don't have ID. They're just struggling. They don't have anything. And some of them need help. Some of them are suffering from drug addiction. Some of them need services because they have some sort of a mental illness. And of course, there is a segment of the people that are on the street that could be dangerous, and that's something different. But a lot of those people, they say roughly 70% just need help, need support. And so what my organization does is help those people. And it's a really great group of people who are focused on trying to get people in better places. And they say you can tell a lot about a society by how they treat their most vulnerable, right? And so we haven't done such a great job as of late in New York City. We can do much better, and we're working towards that.
And it's great that you understand the business. You can probably brainstorm and have a vision where you should be building affordable housing for those people that you can create a better atmosphere for more of them.
Yeah, I mean, it's the people that have been involved. The bridge has been around for 50 years, believe it or not. And the people that have been involved with the bridge, like Cynthia Wainwright and Susan, there's just Amy Norman and Susan Wiviet. There's all of those people just care deeply about making sure that they take care of people. And when you have so much and you're given so much, you kind of have an obligation to take care of others. I think it was Muhammad Ali who said, giving back to people is the rent you pay for being here. Like, you have to help people. You have to do something. And I think all of us, it's really what we're supposed to do. It's not, you shouldn't be rewarded for it. It's kind of like, if more of us did that, I think we'd be in a better place in the country overall.
Well, I totally agree with you. Everywhere you go, it's in every state and in every town.
Well, when you stop thinking about yourself, me, and what can I get and what do I have and material stuff, it's hard because we're so focused on social media and comparison. I call it comparison quicksand because it's constant, and it's the worst for teenagers because all they do is see what everybody else has and what they don't have. And so I think if we spent less time on that, I'm even trying to do that myself, and more time in the real world doing other stuff, you'll end up feeling better about yourself.
Well, social media does suck you in a bit. That's true.
A bit? I mean, people I know spend hours a day watching. I mean, I'll be honest with you. There was a few weeks ago where I was like watching these videos over, and these reels they send you, like if you like stand up, like Dave Chappelle, or they'll keep sending you, and you're like, you just keep going. And I was like, ooh, my son was like, Mom, you've been on there for 20 minutes. So you have to put it down after a period of time. You just do. Yeah. Not good. Read a book. That's what I say. Read a book.
Exactly. I agree with you. Just a few words about yourself.
Okay.
I just want to hear your success story. It's amazing. You are the chief executive officer of this beautiful organization, successful organization. You've been here for 10 years. You made it even more successful. I know it survived 140 years before you arrived. However, you brought it to another level. And the team that you are surrounded with, the atmosphere, just like you are talking to agents, you are talking to your staff, you are one of them, you are one of the team. So please.
Well, thank you for saying that, Lucy. I wish that I was so great that I brought it to another level, but it's really not the case. It's the team that it's always we in place that we have here. It's me, it's Hall Wilkie, it's Matt Leone, it's Chris Reyes, it's Ashley Murphy. It's all of the people that are here who are superstars, who work together to make sure that we're successful. And I think the thing that I was able to bring into the company was just a little bit of a different perspective. Mm-hmm. I saw things a little bit differently. I gave a voice to where I sit, and kind of spoke out about a lot of issues, which not political, I want to be clear, was never political, but just about things that mattered. And I think I was able to just bring in a little bit more modern mindset to the company.
Fresh air,
a little fresh air, which was good, but it wasn't me. It was also the team. I was smart enough to hire good people. I removed some people and hired new people, and that really helped. And we're always still evaluating and doing that because you need new insight, new ideas, and you need people to ruffle feathers. I want people to say, that's wrong, that's bad, let's do this, let's do that, because we want to constantly grow and get better. So I'm really here because of the team that we have. And I was smart enough to know to hire good people. Like Ashley, who is our head of PR and communications, she's like the best. She's transformed this company.
Well, so thank you, Bess.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you so much.
And the last one before we go, your wish to any realtor, the experienced, the young, the beginners, the confused.
I would say to new agents who are starting in the business is, first and foremost, is go into the office and get to know your colleagues, work with them, because that's when I started out. They will tell you, help me with this open house. They'll help you, they'll educate you, and that's also how you learn from other people. Go to the office, be fluent with the inventory, know what's out there, know what the listings are, go to open houses. New developments have stuff all the time. Talk to your colleagues. Be friends with everybody, and that means everybody from every firm, because you want people to want to rely on you. Dress as a professional. And that doesn't mean that you have to wear a suit and tie. It just means look like a professional and be polite and return phone calls. Do all those things, and I guarantee you can be successful. That's it. I mean, it's really, real estate is about showing up, but you really do have to do the work. It's not like just wearing a nice outfit and getting a fancy car. You really do have to study and be prepared. But it's there's no ceiling to it. So that's what makes real estate such a great industry for people.
Thank you. Thank you, Bess.
Thank you, Lucy.
It was such a great pleasure to be here.
It was so lovely to have you here in New York City.
All the best. All the best to your agency.
Yes, and early Happy New Year to you, Lucy.
Thank you.
Thank you.